Hello, YouTube. I was asked more than once to bring more details about a very unusual creature that lives in one of the lakes in Yakutia. We're speaking about Lake Hayir, in Russian Lake Pestsovoye. It's a reservoir in the north of Yakutia beyond the Arctic Circle where, according to the testimony of eyewitnesses, a huge animal of an unknown species, similar or coinciding in descriptions with the so-called devil from other Yakut lakes like Labinkyr and Varota, should have lived. And you can find more about Yakutia's lakes in my videos and playlists. Well, in 1939-1940, the famous Soviet pilot Valentin Akuratov often had to fly over these places, and one day, from the altitude of 700 to 800 meters, he noticed two long dark spots on the lake. According to the beliefs of the local Yakut population, a giant pike bull lives in Lake Hayir, which is quite capable of swallowing a fishing boat. So the Soviet Arctic pilot Akuratov, who, by the way, was brave and persistent in reporting unusual UFO sightings over the USSR many years ago. Well, Akuratov was the first to report about the mysterious and unknown animal to science. Again, flying over the lake, he noticed two strange gray oblong-shaped spots above the surface of the water. Interested in unusual objects of such a large shape that they were clearly distinguishable from the height of 700 meters, the pilot made a circle over the lake at an altitude of 50 meters. How great was the amazement of the navigator of the airplane when two very large animals turned out to be dark gray spots which, hearing the noise of the aircraft, hurried to hide under the water. However, the World War II and the restoration of the country after the Nazi invasion and the war years postponed the study of the mysterious lake for a long 25 years. In 1964, interest in Hayir awoke with renewed vigor after one of the Moscow scientists, Rurcla, stated that he had seen strange large inhabitants with snake-like heads and long massive necks in the Tundra Lake. An expeditionary detachment was equipped and sent to the lake, and it included a representative of the Yakut branch of the USSR Academy of Sciences, who also saw a strange animal with trunk 4 meters long and a huge 1.5 meter neck. The head of this creature was relatively small, the skin was painted dark blue, and the overall appearance resembled a giant lizard with shiny, smooth skin. However, later, after an expedition sent to the lake, consisting of athletes and submariners, as well as thrill seekers, they explored the lake and found no one. This researcher from the Academy of Sciences retracted his words, declaring them to be a hoax. See, this member of the biological expedition group of the Yakut branch of the USSR Academy of Sciences, his name was Gladkih. He left his written observation. At 7 a.m., I took buckets and went to the lake for water. I used to hear about the existence of a devil in the lake, but I don't believe in evil spirits. So I walked to the lake without being careful, looking at my feet so as not to stumble. Not reaching 15 to 20 meters, I heard something like a splash, so that an unknown animal crawled out of the water. Its torso was about 4 to 4.5 meters long, 1.5 to 2 meters high. His neck was long, perhaps 1.5 meters, and a flat, small head, like a snake. Its color is dark blue with a tint, the skin is smooth. It seemed to me that it was eating grass. Buckets fell out involuntarily. The monster turned its neck head in my direction. I don't remember much further because I was very excited. It shouted loudly, ran headlong to our camp, but unfortunately there was no expedition members in the camp at that time. When I looked at the lake, I saw that the waves were diverging along it, although there was no wind, the weather was quiet. In the following year, 1965, the group that went to look for the devil again, consisting of tourists and those athletic submariners in the lake, again, they found nothing, but actually they limited themselves to collecting legends and questioning local residents from the nearby village of Hayir. According to their conclusions, Yakut stories about Lake Monstrous are associated only with the pike bull, simply a very large pike possibly existing there. The expedition also concluded that Nikolai Gladkih could not observe the monster in the lake. So, again, later Gladkih himself made a statement that he had invented the whole story. Well, by the way, nothing is known about Rukasuyev's reaction to this confession. It would seem that the sensation has been debunked and there is no monster in the lake, but not everything turned out to be so simple. 3 decades later, people started talking about Hayir again, this time about the appearance in the lake of researchers of the biological detachment of the Yakut branch of the Russian Academy of Sciences. The detachment or the team investigated the quaternary deposits of the Kularsky Ridge, and the scientists camped on the shore of the lake. One day, not far from the campsite, first a head appeared on the surface from the depths of the lake, then a fin on its back. The lizard was beating the water with its long tail. A reptile was beating the water with its long tail. Residents of a small Yakut village located nearby managed to find out that on the lake, and to this day, from time to time, there are muffled sounds of strange splashes. After the conclusion made by the results of the reconnaissance expedition, it was believed for a long time that there were no mysterious inhabitants in the lake, especially of ancient origin. Well, again, however, after 30 years, interest in the lake revived in the 1990s. So this expedition that conducted geological study of the Kularsky Ridge and that camped on the shore of the lake had another story to say. Some of its researchers clearly saw the head of an unusual lizard appear above the surface of the lake, then a back with a fin and long tail. Several times the animal hit the water with its tail, after which it disappeared into the depths. Further questioning of local residents showed that they quite often hear deaf but strong blows from the lake. This is exactly how a tail strikes on the water surface of the lake and how the sound would travel at a distance. So, Lake Hayir again is a riddle, proving that not all of its secrets were solved in the distant 1960s, or that scientists don't always say the truth and are prone to inventing stories. We don't know. From my knowledge of Yakutia and its mysteries, I dare say that there actually may be something in the lake that is dormant and once in a while wakes up. Let's just see what happens, because sooner or later there will be more expedition to the territory and to Lake Hayir, and I will tell you about this. But that's all I know at this point, and those who study cryptozoology and unusual creatures that exist in the lakes of our planet, maybe this will help you. And if you want to help my research, you can do so through the links you will find in the description to this video. Please like my videos, please tell others about my channel. Thank you very much for your attention to my work.